My name's Jerry McSparron, and this is a JMAC engine shop engine completion video on FP71986UE. And this engine belongs to Willie-Ray, and so this is so he can hear it run. But it's been completely rebuilt. In fact, he would attest it was pretty rusted up. It had been sitting outside for a while and in the dirt to boot. But we got it all cleaned up and painted up, and it's got all new. It's been bored and got all new flat top pistons, and the crank has been turned, and it's got oversized mains and rod bearings in it, and so we increased the compression by cutting the head down to 2.99 inches and getting them a little bit more compression, probably around 9.5 to 1 compression. It was 175 psi across 3 of the 4 cylinders. Number 2 was off just a little bit. I'm not at all concerned with that because it's not nearly broke in, but I would expect they'll all be very even and maybe even a little higher than 175 once the rings get seated and worn in a little bit. And so let's see what else. So it's been all cleaned up, powder coated covers, and it's got dual everything, dual chain, dual sprockets, dual springs, valve springs, got new valve guides and new oil pump, and it's really just about a new engine, with the exception of it being bored and turned, but it's all new specifications into specs, and so it's tight. But anyway, the oil pressure is about 175 on startup when it's cold. The engine's not cold right now. I've been running it for 45 minutes to an hour off and on, and the head's been retorqued and the valves have been reset and adjusted, and so it's and then I ran it some more, so it's been run probably, I'd say, a total of almost an hour, and so it's doing well. When it's warm, it idles about 50 to 55. At higher RPM, it'll run 70 to 75, at least till it gets well worn in. But the oil pressure's really good right now, and I like that. And I keep the idle I like to keep the idle at 1,000 RPMs, especially on a fresh engine. Provide adequate oil pressure when it's idling, and I don't like to let it idle too long. So anyway, I'm going to run it for a minute or so. We'll run it at higher RPM. Had a little trouble with my throttle lock for some reason, and so we'll see if I can't get it to hold at a higher RPM here in just a second. Pressure is pretty good. All right, so there you have it, Willie-Ray. I'll get her boxed up, and when you're ready, we'll send it to you, and you can put it in your car. Thanks for watching.